Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be attempting a video that I've been trying to do for a while. It is a mukbang / Q&A. I ordered a whole bunch of sushi, like enough for 2 people. I did pretend I was 2 people when I ordered this on Skip the Dishes just because I didn't want the person to be like, why are you ordering so much food? You're one person. Let's see what's inside. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Tis my first mukbang. I ordered a lot of food just because I assumed that it was supposed to be like that. Aww. They gave me a pen. That's so cute. They gave me 3 chopsticks. Oh, 4 chopsticks, because apparently that's how many people they think are eating this. Cookies. I got, this used to be like the only thing I ate at sushi restaurants because I didn't like raw fish for a very long time. So I got an unagi don, which is barbecue eel on top of rice. So yummy. They gave me 3 things of soy sauce. Obviously, 1 isn't enough for all the food I got. I also ordered a seaweed salad, except I thought it was just gonna be seaweed, but it actually is on top of a bed of lettuce, so interesting. They gave me 2 miso soups, which is really nice. I only ordered 1, but sweet. I will keep 1 in the fridge, I guess. And then my sushi. So it's my first time ordering from this place, and every time I try out like a new sushi place, I like to try their spicy salmon rolls because they're always different. So this is what I got. So this is my sushi lot. I got some scallop sushi, salmon sushi, spicy salmon sushi, some unagi roll, and some avocado roll. I did like a poll on Instagram stories asking what I should order, and a lot of people are saying sushi, and then some people said soup. So I was like, why don't I order soup from a sushi place? And it's a great idea. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna grab my phone because all my questions are there and I will start it off. Okay, so this is my list of questions. All right, so I'm just gonna start off. I didn't put them in any particular order, just kind of grabbed them from my IG stories and the YouTube comments and just put them all in one place. All right, first question is my favorite store to shop at. I like to shop online actually a lot more than I do in store, but if I were to like actually go in and shop, Yorkdale is my mall to go to just because I know where everything is. I'm just really efficient when I go to that mall. I love Aritzia, of course. I feel like every time I go in there I find something I want. H&M is a little tricky. Some seasons there's great things, some seasons they're not. So Nordstrom's another good one because I like that they have like different brands and stuff. I don't know how people eat and talk. I'm struggling. I don't think I'm gonna finish this really quickly. What did I study in university? So I actually have 2 degrees. For those of you who don't know, I couldn't decide, hence my YouTube / Instagram name, on what I wanted to do with my life. Coming out of high school, I was really good at sciences. Clearly, I guess like my family and everyone around me kind of convinced me that I wanted to be a doctor. So I went to McMaster University and I studied biophysiology. I took a 4-year degree where I got an honors Bachelor of Science / biology with specialization in physiology. I did apply to med school coming out of my 4th year and I didn't get in. I really didn't want to try again. My heart wasn't in it. I saw my friends who were applying and honestly like didn't sleep for months because they were so worried, and I didn't have that feeling. It wasn't my passion and I didn't want to like waste that degree, so I kind of convinced myself that I still wanted to be in healthcare. And so I went to Ryerson where I went and studied nutrition, which took another 3 years. I'm trying to not make my answers super long, but apparently I like to talk. What's your favorite holiday tradition? I have a lot, but I think my favorite one is Christmas morning. So ever since Travis and I started dating, it became a little bit harder just because I have my family, he has his mom's family and his dad's family. So when we first started dating, my family was living in Richmond Hill. His family was in Brantford / Paris. So just like getting together or driving, especially in the Canadian winters where it's snowstorms all the time, was really hard. Travis likes to make sure that he falls asleep really early Christmas Eve, because even if he stays up past midnight, and it's Christmas, it's not considered Christmas to him. But so we always like fall asleep before midnight and then wake up really early Christmas Day. So last year we woke up at like 7, and that's kind of like when he proposed, because he proposed at Christmas last year. So our tradition is always to wake up really early at Christmas, and like it kind of feels like we're the only people in the world, because I feel like not a lot of people wake up that early on Christmas Day. So it's very, very quiet. Like it's still kind of dark out, but we have like our Christmas tree, presents, and we just have that like time to ourselves before the craziness of multiple days of Christmas feasts and get-togethers. So that time in the morning, every Christmas morning, is my favorite tradition, to like wake up very early and just have that time for ourselves. Hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm done with the soup. I can't eat and drink. Okay, so we're gonna try to eat this seaweed salad. I'm gonna have to edit a lot of this because it's already 11 minutes. How do you stay in shape? I love that this is a question as I'm mowing down on like 3 people's worth of food. So I kind of mentioned that I used to play varsity tennis, so I was really athletic growing up. I did a lot of sports. It took me a while to find tennis as my like go-to sport. I did swimming, I did skating, I did basketball, I never did hockey, unfortunately. That was one of my regrets. I did field hockey. I did a lot of sports growing up, so I was very athletic. But for some reason, going into Ryerson, I think it was it my second year or first year, I was running on the treadmill. So like I ran every day. It's not like a thing that my body wasn't used to. And all of a sudden I broke into hives, I went to anaphylaxis. I ended up I went downstairs to the Loblaws because the gym was above it. I had to ask for Benadryl because I thought I was just having a regular reaction. Turns out I wasn't, it was going to anaphylactic shock. The pharmacist had to give me like an EpiPen, and you're not supposed to just randomly give a person an EpiPen if they were never like prescribed, but that was like the only thing he could do because my throat was closing up. And he had to call the ambulance and firemen, and like legit through, I don't know if you guys who live in Toronto, that huge Loblaws like at the Mattamy Center, it was like 7 a.m. in the morning, and these firemen and paramedics like were pushing me through the grocery store on a stretcher. And ever since then I haven't been able to run or do much cardio because apparently it's pretty popular now that like people go into anaphylaxis or go into really bad like allergy reaction after running. So I can't run anymore, so that's no longer a thing I can do to stay in shape. So that I struggled with for a long time because that was like my biggest stress reliever. But then I moved into doing like yoga and Pilates. Unfortunately, I am not very good at like staying on track with that, and that definitely is a New Year's resolution, especially with the wedding coming up. I do want to like tone up a little bit, and so that will be a journey I will talk about, I think, more in the new year. But right now I just like make sure I stretch all the time because I sit so much for my job. And I have Yoga Glow, which is like a yoga app that you sign up for, and so you can just do like yoga classes from home, just because my schedule is so sporadic. I can't commit to classes on someone else's schedule. So yeah, that's my story. I'm gonna have seaweed in my teeth, so don't laugh at me. Okay, next question is, where do you plan on traveling to next? I don't know. It depends on where my job takes me. The only like actual place that I have planned for like a whole year saying that I want to go was New York. I just, like my aunt's there, one of my best friends are there, and I love New York as a city. But I just haven't been able to carve out like a couple days where I didn't need to be in the city. I don't know, I have to figure it out. I don't really have any travel plans right now. Next question is, how do you deal with insecurity? It's a big one. I'm just gonna like eat everything and rotate it because I don't even know when I'm gonna finish this. I've always been a very nervous person, a very like anxious person, starting from when I was really young. I used to play violin, I used to play piano, I used to have a lot of like competitions and rehearsals where I had to like perform in front of people. And I kid you not, people who know me from when I was younger, I honestly cried for hours before I had to go on stage or do anything in public. Like I couldn't deal with the emotions I was so scared, I was so nervous, and the only way I knew how to deal with it was cry. So I'm sure my parents have a lot of videotapes of me playing the violin and I am just bawling. So like I'm playing, but still bawling, like tears streaming, my lips are quivering. That's how nervous I was. That's how insecure I was about putting myself out there in public. I'm still like that. I don't do public speaking for a reason. I haven't been able to come out of that comfort zone that I'm in right now. Even for YouTube, that's why when I was starting to do public vlogs, I got really nervous, just because all the videos or most of the videos that I've been producing are like in the comfort of my own home. Really, I'm just talking to myself right now, and I'm gonna edit the video and probably never watch myself again, just because I feel very, very strange watching myself in video. But how I deal with like getting over that insecurity when I am put in that situation, like when I have a photo shoot that isn't just me and my mom or just me and my dad, and it's like a whole team. I think for me, I just like take it one step at a time. So it's like, yeah, get ready for the shoot. You get there, you meet everyone. Oh, you have to start posing in front of people. Just like kind of zone in. That's just like you and the photographer. There aren't any other people watching beside you. I think it's all about that internal confidence that I still work on, and I feel like a lot of people still struggle with, but it's really dealing with one thing at a time. If you look at the bigger picture and look at what could happen or what might happen, like it's really hard to get out of that. So I think my best advice to dealing with insecurity is look within yourself and find that point of confidence where you can build off of. Hopefully that helps. I feel like I just rambled. What was starting YouTube like at the beginning? Advice and being scared. I'm still scared. I get terrified every time I post a video because you just never know how it's gonna do, especially if you have to vlog in public. That's one of the biggest hurdles I'm trying to get over, and why I haven't done so many recently, just because I got used to filming at home by myself, that when I bring the camera out, I'm almost like, let me hide in a corner and film and then like try to see how it goes. So I mean, I don't think the fear ever goes away. I don't know, if you're a regular YouTuber, maybe you're totally cool with all that now. But for me, it's mostly like the insecurity of not knowing how people are gonna react to what you say. Because having started on Instagram and blogging, I feel like there's an extra firewall almost, because you're writing. It's just a picture. And it's not like you animated in video, and because in video you really get to see who a person is, right? Like if you don't like me in video, you're probably not gonna like me in real life. And so I think when you put it out there for people to watch and for people to judge, it becomes a lot more real. And I'm really thankful for everyone who's been super nice, because it's made the experience a lot better. It's still an everyday fear of mine, but gotta do what you gotta do. Do you keep anything from your hauls? I think this is a pretty popular question, because it's like you get a lot of stuff in hauls, and I live in a 750 square foot condo. Things just don't fit anywhere, which is why I'm really excited to move, because I have a whole basement that I can store things in. But the main thing is that I don't keep everything, okay? Like I do keep some things. If you've watched my Zara hauls or anything that I have to spend money on, it's more of like an investment, right? Because I want to buy things so I can show you the product that you can currently buy out there, because a lot of my items I've had for years, and I spend money on clothes because I like them to last a long time. To make everything more relevant for you guys, I buy similar things of what I had before to show you how to style and where you can buy them. So I don't necessarily keep all the things that I already have, but if I like find a new piece, like, I don't know, I kept my Zara cashmere polo because I had nothing like it and I was obsessed with it. So it really depends on the piece. I normally do return majority of my clothes and keep some of them. Favorite Toronto restaurants. So FYI, I don't live downtown Toronto. I know a lot of people think that I do, but I don't. I live in Vaughan, so I'm not downtown very often, and I'm actually moving to Guelph, which is even further. But I do like to go to Toronto because I have a lot of meetings there, I have a lot of events there. So I have gone to a lot of restaurants. This unagi rice is so good. Like the unagi is flawless. Favorite restaurants are usually Italian ones. I love Italian food. Tironi on Adelaide Street. I love Gusto, which is on Portland, I think. And then my favorite sushi restaurant in Toronto is called Japango. It's really close to Eaton Centre. It's very, very small, but they have like really good quality sushi, and then every day they have like a daily fresh special, like a fresh fish special. So I definitely go check that out if you're a sushi fan too. What kind of outfit would you wear to a Christmas party? Well, I just posted a holiday outfit lookbook with Joe Fresh, so you can check that out. Those are pretty much the outfits I'm gonna wear this holiday season. What is one clothing item you don't mind investing a lot of money on? If you watch my what I wore this week videos, you kind of know that I do spend money on clothes, like all types. And that's because over the years I've realized that quality is more important than quantity. But if I had to choose one, I would choose shoes. So I have very narrow feet and flat feet, so it's very difficult for me to find shoes that don't hurt my feet, that look good, and that will last me a while. So I guess I'm kind of a shoe snob when it comes to that, but I really believe that spending more money on shoes is just, it's worth it, because your feet support the rest of your body. So if your feet aren't comfortable and if they're not supported, then you're not really helping yourself. So I guess shoes would be it, other than jeans. But jeans, I feel like you can get away with investing like medium amounts of money on jeans and still looking good, versus shoes. Shoes, I feel like I need to spend some money on my shoes. Where did I grow up and what was my childhood like? I grew up in Toronto, basically. My parents lived in Richmond Hill, but I went to school in North York and then down basically like Forest Hill, Toronto. So I spent a lot of time commuting growing up. My parents thought it was very important for me to go to a private school. We went to one like quite far away. And so like I never really got that like huge community feel, I guess, because a lot of my friends who went to school would just like either walk home or get home in like half hour, versus sometimes it took me 2 hours to get home at night. I'd leave at like 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, get to school, finish school at like 3:34. I always did extracurriculars, like I said, so I would either go to orchestra practice, sports practice, or whatever, probably until 5:36, and then get picked up. Wouldn't get home till 7:38. A lot of the time we ate in the car, and then I would have to do homework. So I feel like growing up, I had a very structured, scheduled life with like things going on all the time, which is kind of one of the reasons why I think I ended up in this field, because I never had that like 9 to 5 feeling of like going to school and then being done and then like having a life after. Mine was always like, you go to school, you do more extracurriculars, you go to violin class, you go to piano class, you go to theory class. Like I always had something to do. And so that's like kind of how my life is now. Like I always have something to do, even though like when Trav comes home from work, I'm still working, I'm still editing, I'm still creating content. And there's a very clear line of like why I ended up where I am now and why I'm in this field, because it very much mirrors the life I used to have that I was very used to. So yeah, I was very lucky growing up. I have 2 siblings, my brother who is 2.5 years younger than me, and then my sister who is 5 years younger than me. My sister and I are super close because we're sisters. I mean, I think that there's a bond between sisters that can't be broken and there's nothing to compare to. And then my brother and I are really close because we're very similar in personalities. We're both like very chill, very like just down to earth people, and we're closer in age, I guess, so we've definitely experienced some things closer together than my sister and I. And I have mom, dad together still, and a dog, Max, who's a cute little Maltese. He's about 12 now, so he's getting quite old. Is blogging my full-time job? I finished school in 2016 and I started doing like, I consider my blogging full-time. But I did work part-time at a retail store to kind of support it, because especially when you start a new business, you're not like earning like all the monies. You have to be aware that there are going to be some months where you don't get any projects at all, or some months where it's really slow, so you can't. I didn't rely just on blogging, but like I consider it my full-time job because I was spending 99% of my time doing it. So I did that for about 2 years. Last year, which was 2017, I joined my agency. Since joining them, I've been able to, like, I left my part-time job but I also did get my real estate license during that time. I also will loop in the other question of why did I choose real estate? My mom is a real estate agent, so when they kind of realized I wanted to do this freelancing career, they're like, hey, like, why don't you get your real estate license? And just so that you have that in your back pocket in case there are times where, like, for some reason you're not getting campaigns, or if in 5-10 years, like, this field isn't a thing anymore, which I hope it's still a thing, but if for some reason it isn't a thing, you still have a real estate agent license. So like, real estate's not really going anywhere. So I chose real estate so I could fluctuate the ebbs and flows of freelancing. So if any freelancers are out there, you know that some months are good, some months are bad. So very lucky this year in 2018 where I basically blogged full time. I didn't do much real estate. I did some deals here and there, but I could have supported myself without it. So I think that's why I would consider blogging my full time, because I can survive without doing real estate right now. And when I mean survive, I mean living within my means. Like, I can afford everything I buy. I am not like in debt or whatever, and we were able to buy a house. So I get this question a lot. It's advice for maintaining a healthy and happy relationship. It's a tough one. Travis and I have been together for 7 years. Before that, I was single for maybe half a year, and then before that, I had a long-term boyfriend from high school. So my 2 long-term relationships had been very different. My first real relationship was from high school. Very unhealthy, very toxic, probably because we were both so young, and like we had just started going to university, and like I feel like going into university, a lot of people haven't really found out who they are, don't really realize what they want to do with their life, don't know what they like, don't know what they don't like. So I was 17 going into university, and I was so young that I feel like there just wasn't trust there. So to have like a happy and healthy relationship, I think one of the most important things is to have that trust and build that trust, and that's what Trav and I have, right? So Trav and I met in university, and we spent basically the first 2 years of our relationship together, like 24/7. We were one of those couples where our friends were kind of like, why aren't you spending like more time not with him? And it was just because I think that we realized very quickly on that we were like best friends, like we just got each other. There were many things that are different about us, like he grew up in a small town, I grew up in Toronto. There's a lot of differences in our lives. His parents are divorced, my parents are together. I have 2 siblings, he has 1 sibling, but we are both like older siblings, like we're the eldest of our siblings. So I think that's one of the huge personality similarities that are important, at least for a lot of the relationships that I've noticed that have been successful over the years. I'm not saying that like if you're the youngest and your partner's the oldest, you're never gonna be together. But there's something about being the oldest sibling and something about having that nurturing quality and like protectiveness in yourself that I think made us get along so well and allowed us to trust each other a lot. And just because we did spend so much time together in the first 2 years of a relationship, the trust was there, like that wasn't a question. And so when he had to move away and be out east for such a long time, we were able to still maintain a healthy, communicative relationship. So I guess the best advice I can give you for now in this short mini Q&A is to trust each other. So find someone you can trust, and even if they might upset you, because they're going to, no relationship is perfect. You have to realize that they're a person too, and they're doing their best, and if you love each other, you shouldn't be hurting each other, right? So even if something they do that you don't like, it's not because they're trying to hurt you. Just realize that it's just because they're a person too. Like, you're gonna annoy each other at some point of your life. Just like, that's gonna happen, okay? And never go to sleep mad. I know that that's like so cheesy, but for Trav and I, like I think something that's worked so well is that both of us, we don't hold grudges. So even if we're mad, like, and even if we get into like a big fight, I feel like it never lasts for very long, because either he'll apologize or I'll apologize, or we'll just be like, okay, are we like done fighting now? Because this is bad, like this is sucky, I don't like being mad at you. And we usually settle it very quickly. I think that when you let things fester, that's when you can get into trouble. All right guys, so that's it. Those are all the questions. I didn't go through all of them just because some of them I want to keep as separate videos, but definitely keep leaving your comments and questions below if you have more, and I'll do a second one, just because I feel like I've rambled for so long now. I need to stop talking. And so if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe so you can see more, because this is still Vlogmas, so there'll be another video tomorrow, and I will see you very soon.